Everybody, Mega Roller 31 back here for FSI DFS. We are going to be breaking down, and again, the two slates can agree. So on FanDuel, it is a 7-game slate starting at 6:40 p.m. And on DK, it's 5-game slate starting at 7:05. And we are at Wednesday for May 25th. And it's never a good thing when I pull up the sheet and you see like blue all over it because it means there's a lot of rain. So potentially 3 of these games could get canceled. So down on FanDuel, we might drop down to a 4-game slate. And on DraftKings, it could be a 3-game slate. So just gonna run through things quickly and see what we do. Instead of doing like cash and GPP, I think we're gonna do like if the weather holds out and a save, don't have to worry about weather lineup. So first game on FanDuel is the Marlins and Tampa Bay. At Tampa Bay, Poteet, Rasmussen battle for Florida here. Poteet, not interested in. He's cheap, but you're not going to play him on FanDuel. Rasmussen, I think definitely with the context of the weather, makes a really good case for your SP1 if you can't, if some of the other guys are going to get rained out. Bat-wise, not interested in Florida at all, and Tampa Bay. Definitely some of the lefties there against Poteet, yes. Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati Reds looks like a 60% chance of rain here, so this one might get washed out. Wind is blowing in, so I mean, we might mitigate things too. I'm still not playing Kyle Hendricks in the Great American Ballpark, so or small park. I'm gonna fade him there. Castillo, I think potentially the Cubs do have some strikeouts with the wind blowing in. I think I like him a little bit better, but again, on a one-pitcher study, I don't think I'm really even going to consider him here. Bat-wise, Cub lefties, Castillo's really struggled against. He's been really solid against righties, so fire up the lefties if this game does play. And if you're playing like DraftKings, like the Turbo team slate 2, that'd work also. Cincinnati on the other side, I think GPP stack only for that. Okay, so now we're on the games that are on both sides. We have Baltimore and the New York Yankees. We have Tyler Wells and JP Sears. Wells has faced the Yankees a couple times, hasn't been doing horrible. The Yankees lineup could be completely watered down. DJ LeMahieu continues to struggle with a wrist injury. I think he had a cortisone shot, so he got scratched yesterday. See if he's back in. I know COVID's going through the clubhouse. I know Stanton got pulled last night with like hamstring tightness. You have Gallo on the COVID list, Donaldson on the COVID list. So you could see, and last night I stacked like the baby Yankees down the bottom of the lineup, and they actually came good. Like Trevino is my new hero. I'm thinking about putting him on the cover today, but for some reason he might not be in here, even though Wells has given up power to right-handers as well as left-handers. I might see Rob Brantley in at catcher. So, but if Trevino's in, like he's actually been doing very good filling in with Higgy on the COVID list there. So like him quite a bit if he's in there. So I think if you're looking for cheap SP2, I think either one of these guys work, but they have their downsides. Like Wells, definitely if it's a watered down Yankees lineup could be okay. Baltimore has been putting up some runs in this series. Sears on the other side got sent back down to the minors, gets stretched out. He's been going 3 or 4 innings at 5.5. If he does that and gets a couple strikeouts, like maybe 4 or 5, he should be okay. So I think if you need a cheap SP2, I think probably Sears is going to be the chalk, and then Wells is a nice pivot off that. Bat-wise, like I said, Baltimore has been kind of avoid Mullins. Like he's not the same guy as he was last year leading off. His last couple of games has been decent, but other than that, like he's been pretty disappointing this year. So Rushman's still pretty talented as a catcher, but his price is starting to get up there and really hasn't shown a ton. It's not like he came like setting the world on fire up from the minor leagues. Yankees, of course, like it depends on who's in the lineup there. I think Rizzo definitely against the righty, Judge, Torres. Hicks has actually been hitting a little bit better too. But don't forget these baby guys like Marlon Gonzalez and Kiner Falefa. Florial, I might be crack the lineup at 2-1. He's batting like 0.71 or something like that, like something very, very low. But I know there's some talent there. So if you need a cheap punt on GPP for a Yankee stack, I'm fine with that. Okay, next weather game is the Braves and Phillies. So it looks like a 65% chance of rain here, wind blowing in. Rangers Flowers, Charlie Martin. Not interested in Rangers Flowers. He's okay, but not against this Brave team. Actually, like the Braves pretty much as top GPP stack. They'd probably be in cash if there's no weather there. Probably up there, pretty solid. And then Charlie Morton on the other side, I think is okay. Also, I'd probably put him right below Giolito as the second pitcher I'd consider on DK. I probably would still take Rasmussen over him on FanDuel. The only two guys that could probably get to him potentially with like a home run here or there would be Harper or Schwarber. The rest of the team, I think he pretty much shuts down if this game plays. So keep an eye on that. Like the Atlanta Bats, Philly bats, like if you want to stack them in GPP on such a small slate, that's fine. But I think only the 2 one-off lefties are where you want to go. The Cleveland Guardians at the Houston Astros. Qual control, no thank you. Houston doesn't strike out, and he's not a great pitcher, and Houston has a really decent offense. Javier on the other side, same thing. Cleveland doesn't strike out a lot, but I think he might be by default lefty or only SP1 candidate on DK if the 2 games rain out and you lose Giolito and you lose Morton. So I have to keep an eye on for that. Houston, I think, takes a decent stack against Quantrill. Cleveland, I think it's just a leverage stack if Javier becomes like your default SP1. Boston Red Sox and Chicago White Sox. I don't know what happened. Boston put up 16 runs and destroyed Cisse, who I think was like a lot of sites' top pitcher yesterday. I went with Gossman and he got the win and pitched decently. But those that went with Cisse were surprised, and those who stacked Boston, kudos to you, because I did not see that one coming. 16 runs, holy cow. Against Giolito, I don't think that's going to happen. Giolito is definitely your SP1 if this game plays and everything's going to be okay. If you want to do Boston as a leverage stack, if you think they stay hot, that's fine, but I don't think that happens. I think last night was an anomaly. Rich Hill on the other side, not very interested in. Even on a small slate, I guess you can play them. The White Sox are starting to get some pieces back, and I think they're decently hit against right-handed or left-handed pitching. They're just worse against right-handed pitching. So Anderson, Vaughn, Pollock, Grandel, Moncada, Abreu, it could be an all right-handed lineup here. So I think behind Atlanta, if this game plays, I really like the White Sox as a stack if everything's good. Final game is Texas Rangers and Los Angeles Angels. Glenn Otto, not interested in. Detmers, yes, I know he had like the no-hit gem, but he did have regression, like I did think, and I still think he against Texas, and I still think he doesn't fare well in this one either. In the context of slate with not many options, I can see playing him, especially over Otto there. Texas bats, I think they're definitely in play if you're looking for some cheap pieces. And the Angels, even though they're like clunky to try to put together in a stack, we'll see if Ward's back in or not after that hand injury. But I think, especially on FanDuel, Tony's prices come way down. I think it's under 4K. Might be some options to take them there. So see what we came up with for lineups. Like I said, the no rain lineup, if everything's going to play, I think I'm taking Giolito from SP2. I think a lot of people are going to go Giolito, Javier on DK. I think, if you want to pick Sears or Wells, that works. Then again, I think Atlanta is going to be the top stack with Chicago White Sox. If neither game are going to be have weather issues, if things are going to clear up and they're going to play, then you can be like Vaughn's and Elby's and Anderson, Acuna, Pollock, and you can pay up for one of the Atlanta catchers on DK, but they're super expensive. Grandel is also, so you might just want to go down and punt on there, or take Garver for Texas against Detmer. I think he bats pretty high up, and he's in the 3K range and quite decent. So then just decide who you want to know, third base or outfield there. On FanDuel, Giolito definitely. Contreras is dirt cheap. I think he's only like 2.1, where he's like 5.1 on DraftKings. So definitely like lock him in there if he's not in there. Diarno, they usually hit up in the lineup. And I think I'll like stack the Yankees and the Braves there. Then for like your non-rain lineup, I'm taking Javier as my SP1, probably Sears or Wells as my SP2. Then you'll have to, I'm probably going to stack the Yankees. If I'm going to go with Wells, then I'm going to stack Houston here. So it would just be, instead of Torres, just take Altuve and then Brantley at third, and then probably Bregman at third, and then Brantley and Alvarez in the outfield over Ohtani, Judge, and then you can leave Trout or throw Tucker in there or another Houston play if you want to. If you go that route, then I'd fill in Baltimore bats for the fill-ins. Like I said, catcher-wise, I'm probably going to go cheap. I'm probably going to take Bart if he's not Bart plays for San Francisco. Brantley if he's the Yankees one, or Trevino or something like that. Probably going to go cheap here for this stack. And then on FanDuel, Rasmussen would be my number one pitcher, and I'm going to stack Tampa Bay and Houston here. So give me Troy, Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, Kiermaier, and then you're going to have to take a one-off if you're taking Rasmussen and doing Tampa Bay and Houston. So you can get Trout in the outfield there, or you can go with Brantley or another Tampa Bay guy at shortstop. You can go with Franco from Tampa Bay or another one that fits in there. Maybe your one-off goes there, whatever you want to do. So that's kind of what I have for this very messy slate. Again, always check back. Remember, FanDuel starts at 6:40 and DK starts at 7:05. So check back around 6 o'clock into the comments. And, if any games are canceled or we're changing our thoughts or anything, always throw notes out there. Like I said, you can always learn from the other people and the questions they ask there. So I'm MegaRoller31. Hit me up on Twitter at MegaRoller31. Leave comments below if you have any questions. Check out the description of the video to find out more about FSI DFS. And I appreciate you watching. Please give this video a like, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel so you know when our videos are coming out, and we will see you next time.